Okay, today I want to talk about a hidden law that is controlling your life. And you may have heard about this, you may have heard about this kind of thing before, but I'm going to break it down in a new way that maybe you haven't seen before, maybe you haven't fully comprehended. But this is a law that's controlling your life. It's not something you can see in your environment, you know about, but it's something that controls everything. And once you see it, once you learn about it, you can control it. So let's get into it. What is the law? Well, really it's the law of your paradigm. It's not necessarily like a universal law, but your paradigm, if you don't know what it is basically a lens you see the world through. And if you've ever thought about life like a lens, or consciousness like a lens, then you realize that the way you see the world creates your reality. So, you know, the way people that are negative, they have negative events happening all the time. And this is because of this system, this law. So basically, your paradigm is a conceptual idea of your mind and your body and your reality feeding back in on itself. So you could describe it as consciousness or psychology, whatever you want to describe it as. But let's say if you just took everything you know about yourself, it would be in your paradigm. So your paradigm is everything. It's your identity. It is everything. So let's break it down. Really, your paradigm is everything from your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your beliefs, thoughts, your emotions, your memories, everything. And it's like a sort of algorithm or a program that's running your life, right? So really pretty important to figure out what your paradigm is and figure out if there are things in it that you don't want, right? So the main thing to understand with your paradigm is whatever you want in your life, the results you want in your life are a direct reflection of your paradigm. So, you know, it's interesting at every level of business and things, people think differently. People see the world differently. I recently watched a video with Alex Hormozy who's talking about how it's quite an old video now, but how he met his first billionaire friend. And he was saying these people just see the world totally differently. They avoid all negativity. They have a very calm, quiet life. And they control their environment very well. So they see the world in a very, very different way from somebody who's, say, making like, I don't know, 10,000 or 100,000 or $1 million a month. So that's an interesting point about the paradigm. It is, once you understand it, you realize like people are experiencing reality totally differently because of their paradigm. So number two, subconscious versus conscious. So we have a conscious mind, obviously. We have a mind that is thinking for us, it's doing things, it's deciding things. And then we have a subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is just, as I've mentioned in other videos, it's just listening. It's just absorbing information. And once you realize that, you realize everything you ever experience as a child, a teenager, you just absorbed, you just accepted. And that makes you very much controlled, very much controllable, because a lot of your beliefs and things were implanted in your subconscious mind. This is the reason advertising works, because advertising programs us, or I should say rather, our subconscious mind is programmed through emotion and imagery. So every time you watch an emotional advert, even though you're not consciously accepting what it is showing you, you are being programmed by it. And the same is true with everything. If you watch the news, you watch movies, all this kind of stuff, it's programming your subconscious. And so you need to understand that. You need to begin to realize that the conscious mind is only getting you so much of the way. Most of it is your subconscious mind. And this is where your beliefs are. This is where everything is. So when you go to do something, but you just can't do it because it's out of alignment with who you think you are, that's because your subconscious mind is telling you, no way, you can't do this. It's not you. So we need to learn how to program our subconscious mind. And that's what I'm going to help you figure out a little bit with this video how to do. So number 3 is beliefs. So we have positive and negative beliefs, right? So if you have a bunch of negative limiting beliefs, it's going to be very hard for you to achieve what you want. The good thing about beliefs is we can program it. Same with the subconscious mind. The conscious mind, we can learn to control it. So we can have whatever beliefs we want. And we should probably have beliefs that help us get what we want in our lives. So what you can do is think about beliefs, like negative beliefs and positive beliefs are part of the paradigm. And the paradigm is really the source code of your reality, or the source code of your results, maybe we could say. So what we want to do is obviously figure out if we've got any negative limiting beliefs and implant some positive empowering ones. And that's really what you got to do with the beliefs. And then thoughts, number 4, thoughts are downstream of the beliefs. So if you believe that you are an absolute loser and nobody likes you, then you're going to be thinking all day, oh man, you know, today's going to suck. I'm just such a bad person. You know, when I go outside, everybody's going to hate me. People are going to hate me. So you're thinking thoughts that are sourced in the beliefs or from the beliefs. Like the thoughts are coming from all this negative beliefs. And I know this for a fact because I used to be very, very negative, and I used to have a lot of negative thoughts, and they came from very negative beliefs about myself, the world, just very pessimistic way of seeing the world. So thoughts are downstream of beliefs. So what we can do is obviously reprogram beliefs, but then we can also control or curate our thoughts on an active basis every day. So this takes a bit of practice because you slip in and out of consciousness, and you, much like meditation, you become conscious of yourself, and then you become unconscious, and you just start playing the script that you've always played. So number 5 is emotions. So if you have negative beliefs and negative thoughts, you're going to have really negative emotions. And this kind of creates this amplification because you've got negative going down to negative, going down to negative. So you're feeling pretty bad, right? But imagine if you have really great thoughts, really great beliefs to begin with, and thoughts, and then you'll have great emotions, right? So your emotions are connected to how you think and what you believe. So that is why it's so important to change these, because everybody is obsessed with being happy. Well, if you want to be happy, you need to have good thoughts and beliefs, and then naturally you'll feel better. So next is action. So based on how you feel and how you think and what you believe, it's going to have a big effect on the actions you take. Because if you've ever tried to do things from a very limited paradigm, the actions are really limited, right? But so this is an important point, because this is why I teach to, or tell people to, and myself as well, to change the paradigm and then take the action. Because if you're just taking the action, your thoughts and beliefs will be and emotions will be sabotaging the action. So it's very important to take the massive action after you've programmed the right thoughts and beliefs. So every day you're programming the thoughts and beliefs, and you know you're feeling good, you're making yourself feel good, and then you're taking the massive action, because you've got a positive cascade, one domino effect for each other thing. And then lastly, we've got 7, the results. So when we're doing all these things correctly, we'll get some positive results. And that creates a good thing because we're like, wow, yeah, things are working. I am this kind of person. I am, making progress. I am a good person. So it's very important. And if it's the other way around and we're super negative, we're going to obviously get negative results because, not too much good is going to be happening in our lives. Lastly, number 8 is feedback loops. So feedback loops are incredibly powerful, and really I encourage you to research them if you've never heard of them. But just think about the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. So things are exponentially distributed, meaning like things feed back on each other. So like if everybody wants to move to a certain city, let's say in America, everybody wants to move to Austin, Texas, or Miami. So more and more people want to move there. It's a feedback loop. The more people talk about it, the more people go there. The more people talk about it, the more people go there. And the same is true with your life. So as you have better beliefs, you will want to have more positive beliefs. And then as you have better thoughts, you will confirm those beliefs and you will create more positive emotions. And as you have more positive emotions, thoughts, and beliefs, you will create good actions. And as your actions get better day by day, your results will get better day by day. And then your feedback will feed back into these beliefs and confirm the beliefs, confirm the thoughts, confirm the emotions, and confirm the actions, and you'll take more action, you'll have more positive thoughts, and you will just get better and better every day. That's how feedback loops work, that's how your paradigm works, and that's how the mind works. So hope you enjoyed this video. Click the link below if you want to have a chat with me. If not, no worries. Have a great day. Bye.